I'm going to put my arm. Hi.
So what technique do you teach?
I teach the Chubbuck Technique.
Okay. So if I was going to learn how to become an actor, and why should I, or what would be the reasons I would want to study the Chubbuck Technique?
Great broad question. Love that.
Anything you want.
Well, the thing about the Chubbuck Technique, in my experience, because I've trained in a lot of different techniques. Meisner I have not, but I've trained in a lot of different techniques. For me, the thing that I really like about it is how we use our personal lives. I know some actors really like that and some don't, but the way in which we use personal life, the way that we go after scene objective, the way that we use substitution, and the biggest takeaway for me is that using the substitution, going after an objective in the way it's phrased, it's to try and fix or solve a problem, as opposed to playing the problem. Going after an objective to win at any cost, how you use your personal life to do that, and it should feel cathartic. If there's any type of technique that makes you feel like you want to crawl into a hole and die, that's probably not the best choice, and that's not what Chubbuck is, and that's what I really love about it. Plus also, one of the greatest things that I was told by actually a casting director, and she said that my work as an actor was nuanced. And I thought for me that was such a great compliment, and that has to do with the technique. Because I had never heard that before, and I never felt that way before as an actor until I really started training in this technique.
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah.
So the big drum roll question for the whole reason we're here today, and what does it matter? Why should an actor learn a technique? Any technique, why should they take the time to do it?
You know, I thought about that, and I thought, does technique really matter? For me personally, yeah, I feel like it matters to me. I know for some actors it just doesn't. The reason why I feel like it matters is because sometimes just being real and natural is not enough. And I hear that a lot. And I also learned that a lot from some of my, not that it's a bad thing, but from some of my acting teachers in the past. Like, being real and natural is great, don't get me wrong, and being yourself is great, but sometimes it's just not interesting. Like, it really isn't. Like, I could say, okay, this wall is cool, it's being real, it's being natural, but do I want to sit and watch that, for 5 minutes? No. So a lot of techniques, and again, I'm only speaking for Chubbuck Technique, it helps you to really be able to be more effective in your choices, and I think a lot of actors could really benefit from that.
How long do you think someone needs to study Chubbuck or any technique, in your opinion?
Till the end of time.
Right.
I'm just kidding, I'm totally kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so objective. I mean, or subjective, I should say that. I get asked that a lot from students, and I mean, oh my God, I had so many years of training. I did undergraduate, I did graduate school, I did 7 years at Chubbuck School and then I went through a teacher training program, and at that point I was like, can I cuss, actually? I'm like, I'm so fucking tired of being a fucking student and training, like I want to do it. Yeah. So yeah, that I can't really answer for you. I mean, really, I think it's just for you as a person. Okay, this is what I can say. For me, I knew when it was time for me to transition from becoming a professional student into becoming a professional actor, because at that point, I felt like I'm really confident, I know what I'm doing, I'm grounded in my choices, I know who I am as a person, and I know how to break down a fucking script. Like, I know how to break down a role, and I'm confident in what I'm bringing to it.
If I was I did some high school theater, some college theater. I've got some, I like acting, but I don't have any training. And I came to you and said, Jerry, I'm going to take Chubbuck.
Yeah.
How long do you think it's going to take me to really get it?
Typically. Yeah, it's different for everyone.
Of course.
I mean, it really is different for everyone. Okay, I will say this. I will give the generic answer. How about this? Like, give it at least a year. At least a year, and especially if you're coming from literally no training whatsoever, just to understand the vocabulary, to understand, because it's a 12-step process. It's like these 12 things you are doing to break down a role, to break down a script, and to truly understand, not just conceptually, but to how to literally physically get up and do it and how it feels in your body. To me, I feel like at least a year. And that's not plugging my classes. That's like literally going, give it at least a year with any technique, I think. Yeah.
That's what Rick said. That's what
Yeah, at least a year, right? Like with any relationship, I think also too, if you want to stick with it or not.
Do you think there's benefit for an actor to study more than one technique?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Again, speaking from my personal experience, I trained in so many different techniques: viewpoint, Suzuki, straight up Stanislavski. I did Michael Chekhov. I did a little bit of Adler. I did Chubbuck, obviously, Uta Hagen, like Alexander technique, and that was all part of my drama school training. And I feel like all of that stuff combined is really also part of Chubbuck Technique, and not all of it, but it's like, I feel like, yeah, learning many different techniques really will help you as an actor, like with any job. I mean, really with any job. And then eventually deciding, okay, if you want to just land on one, like what I did, Chubbuck Technique, that is my solid technique. That is what I use to break down a role for myself as an actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
How long should a new actor study any technique or do any kind of acting training before they are ready to go out and start auditioning? And I'm mainly
Oh
talking
my
about-
God.
Mainly talking about film and TV, but we can also include theater in that if you'd like.
Oh, yeah, again, I really cannot answer that because everyone is different.
That's fine.
Really, everyone is different. I will say at least give it a year, maybe in a year, to at least train and to know if this is what you really want to do and pursue. Answer that. What will make the actors here in Atlanta better actors? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Training, definitely. On-set experience. Do fucking theater. Like, do student films. Everything. Just to experience as much as you possibly can, both in the classroom and training and then real life experience, as much as possible. I would also say, because I get asked this a lot as well too, and in my experience, when I first, because I moved from LA, I was in LA for 15 years, and I did that whole thing for 15 years. And coming from LA and that environment and just how challenging it was and brutal it was and how hungry people were, and coming to Atlanta and seeing other actors and students specifically and people that were very new to the game, like just really, and no fault of their own, just had no idea of, no, this is a job. Like, if you really want to be successful at this and be good at what you're doing, you need to put in the work and the time. So yeah, that's definitely what I would say is training. And also vet your teachers as well too. Really find out who these people are that you're learning from.
Why do you teach?
Oh, hold on.
Yeah, make another drink. There you go. Pinky up. Here we go.
I'm gonna be really honest about this. I've never wanted to be a teacher. I really never wanted to be. Just wanted to work as an actor. So when I went to grad school, and having an MFA allowed me to be able to teach, and this was out in LA when I needed 2 and 3 jobs to survive. And you guys have done time in LA. It's like you need a side gig. So I ended up teaching for many different years while I was there, and I was miserable. I was miserable because all I was doing was teaching and not acting. Well, no, I was doing theater, which was great, but I was lucky if I would get 1 audition a year. A year! And it really wasn't until I moved to Atlanta and teaching Chubbuck Technique, because I was already doing that as an actor, that, well, one, I needed a job, right? And so I found a great place to teach this technique, and I love the technique. I still don't consider myself a teacher. I really just consider myself, I'm an actor that trains in this technique, and I know it really well, and I really enjoy teaching this information to other people and seeing what they do with it. That's a really long answer, but yeah. I never set out to be a teacher. I really didn't want to be. And I feel like the more I look at it in that way, for some reason I keep getting hired. I don't know why people like what I have to say, but I really do love the technique that I teach. I really do, and I really enjoy seeing how it affects people's work, like really taking their work from going, okay, that wasn't bad, to holy shit, what did I just see? I love that. And I love feeling like I was a part of that. Yeah.
Lovely. Give us one of your guilty pleasures.
Creed, the band Creed.
Bam! There's the answer. Creed.
Yeah, the band Creed. But what do you mean? Like anything in life,
Well,
or what do you
for
mean?
instance, somebody's
My guilty pleasure.
was, his is like watching cooking shows.
Yeah.
Mine is somebody was like
Oh,
Skittles. Somebody
boxing.
was Skittles.
Boxing. And I'm not guilty about it. Like yeah.
That's
Actual
not
boxing or watching it?
No, doing it. Yeah, I've been boxing.
Well, that's if you're not guilty about it, it's not a guilty pleasure.
Okay,
Yeah.
damn it. But it's a pleasure.
Or like some, it could be something you watch, something you do, something you eat, anything that you're like, maybe you don't have any.
I don't think I have any,
There you
other than
go.
maybe when I hear Creed.
Yeah. Or Nickelback.
Oh.
That's a definite no. That's a definite no. Yeah, I don't really think I have a guilty pleasure. I mean, but it might not be appropriate for me to say on this because it's more related to personal things.
Okay.
I like how everyone's going
If
and
you
telling
talk about it or not, I don't care.
I'm gonna cut this.